Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me now? Let's see the chat box if I am getting any yes and no's. Hello. Okay, so I think everybody can hear me. I have seen yeses. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hoffer's SEO Workshop Day 2. My name is Kshitij. I am a Hoffer and your host for this wonderful evening. Now, before getting started, as I know there are some new people joining in also, so I'll be taking few minutes of yours to quickly run around the what offers do. So Hoffers is an energy-driven company creating sustainable energy for everyone with a sole motto of making this planet Earth a better place to live in for us and for our coming generations. Now, we believe in innovation, continuous research and development of new systems, and this would also bring down the conflict over resources such as water and energy crisis. Now, to know more about the company, I am dropping down the links to each and everything, website, social media platforms in the chat box. You people might go and check our website and social media platforms. Now, people interested in digital marketing jobs can also directly apply through our website. Further, we have our expertise in other fields as well, such as information technology, human resource management, and customer excellence. The customer excellence department of Hoffers specializes in various domains, digital marketing being such one. And our co-host for the evening, Sanskriti Arya Arora, would take over from now. I request Sanskriti to take over. I'll stop share my screen.
Hi everyone, welcome back again to the ones who have attended yesterday's workshop and welcome to the new ones. Before we start today's presentation, before we start today's workshop, I will go through what we did yesterday, a little recap. So yesterday we basically went through what is SEO. We went through an entire glossary of the different terms that are being used on an everyday basis in the digital marketing industry. Other than that, we went through how to write your content when it comes to putting out website content or blog content or putting out on social media, or you're writing your title, writing your meta tags, everything about your website. The last thing that I went on about was a 12-pointer sheet of on-page SEO. The different types of SEO include on-page, off-page, and technical. Yesterday, we discussed the 12 different points of on-page SEO. Today, we are going to discuss about off-page SEO. Today, I'm going to talk about practical implementation of your backlink analysis as well as your keyword research. Also, how to create backlinks not only from your competitive analysis, but also yourself, how to make your editorial backlinks yourself. Is my PPT visible now? Am I okay? Okay, got it. So today we are going to talk about three things. The very first is competitors analysis. The second is off-page SEO, and the last one we would be doing our keyword research. Let's start with competitors analysis. Now, you are wishing, for example, you are wishing to create a new business. You wish to create an online shopping business for yourself. What is the first thing that you are going to do when you're going to start in an industry that you don't know anything about? Can I get some replies in the chat? What will you do if you want to start a business in an industry, for example, an online shopping business that you don't know anything about? Okay, advertisement. research. Okay, closer, research and analysis. Okay, see, the very, of course, content. You people are on the right track, definitely. The very first thing you will do is you will do your research. You will figure out what is actually going on in the industry. And to do that, you can go up on Google and just search, okay, and online shopping, different, online shopping, different websites, how to do online shopping, etc. The better way to go around it, so that it also helps you in creating a backlink and keyword research to do an enhanced and comprehensive competition analysis. Now, why it is required? Basically, first of all, of course, it is required to know what is going on in the industry, because at all times the trends are changing. Today, a week ago, reels were in motion. Maybe 3-4 days later, something else will be in motion. So you never know what is in trend. To get to know that, you have to analyze your competitors to figure out what is working for them and what is not in the industry you wish to step into. The second thing is, when you analyze your competitor, you can figure out where their strength lies and where their weaknesses lie, so that you can capitalize on their weakness. You can figure out, okay, this is the market gap. Basically, when you start any new business, you have to figure out the market gap, because that is what people will pay you for. That is how you are going to convert a customer, by figuring out that specific market gap that your competitor cannot abide by or cannot provide your new customers. Therefore, you should always figure out where your competitor is lacking, where is their weakness, and then you can figure out how can you capitalize on it. The next thing is to understand how difficult it is to outperform your competitor when it comes to ranking on a search engine, which I will talk about when it comes to backlink analysis. The next thing is, well, we can figure out the weaknesses of our competitors and capitalize on them. Likewise, we can always replicate their strengths. We can always figure out what kind of advertisements they are putting on, what kind of marketing campaigns they are using on social media platforms, on for example, on newspapers, on other kind of outlets that are being used for marketing. So we can exactly replicate, or at least get inspired from whatever the competitors are using to market their products. Then the last thing is to understand their SEO strategy. See, SEO is not something that you can learn in one day. SEO is not something that can be given a book to you and be like, okay, now you have to do this and you'll be done. SEO is something that you'll have to figure out on your own. Every SEO manager has his own mix of tools, has his own tips and tricks, has his own recipe to win, basically. So you'll have to figure out what strategy they are using and how will it help you to modify your own strategy. Okay, now how do you do that? First of all, you can identify your competitors, which is as easy as go up on Google and search them through. You can also identify your competitors because there are different sites on Google where companies are being listed. There are websites which help in listing companies. You can go up those websites and figure out who are your competitors. The next thing is, you can learn from the advertisement they are putting out, the way their traffic is broken down by country. See, if you are talking about going global, for example, or if you're talking about a pan India campaign, you need to figure out, because see, North India is very different from South India, which is very different from East and West. India is a diverse country. It is, I mean, the map starts from Jammu to Kanyakumari, and people change, languages change, festivals change, and whatnot. So according to the place you're going to place your campaign in, the SEO strategy you want to devise, it will change according to the geographical area you're trying to get conversions from. So you have to study according to the geographical area you're trying to target. The next thing is, I will talk about the broken pages when we will do our competitors analysis in the backlink part. And the last thing is spy on competitors organically. How do you do that? How can you spy on your competitor? Does anyone know? How do you actually spy on them? Can I get a yes or no? Okay, see, spying on, what do you mean by, yes, mystery shopping? Okay, someone would mystery shopping. It is actually one of the services that Hofers provide, mystery shopping. I think everyone should look into it. It is the most innovative services that are being provided by Hofers. And we can share the link with you. Anyway, let's move forward. How do you spy? Okay, one is mystery shopping. You can send out a mystery shopper and figure out how it is, how your customer, is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sorry, everyone. There was a technical glitch. You just never know when your gadget is going to give up on you. Okay. Anyway, so I was talking about spying on your competitor. So let's just get to it. Spying on your competitor. So you have to, what is spying on your competitor? Basically, you have to figure out what SEO strategy they are using, which we can do using the tools. The next thing is where they are being put out, basically where they are being listed, be it on social media websites, be it on news channels, be it on blogging websites. Who is writing about them, who is talking about them? How can you acquire those mouths to write about you, basically? So there is an SEO tool which is Brand 24 that is used for social listening. This is called social listening, to figure out which person is basically talking about your competitor, who is not related to the company at all, but is actually acting as a funnel to convert customers for them. Okay, we will take a look at Brand 24 in today's session. I hope we do. Okay, now let's get to backlinks. I think anyone who has even heard a single video on YouTube or anywhere about SEO, they must have mentioned backlinks. Without backlinks and keywords, there is no SEO. It is the foundation over which SEO is built. Now, okay, what are SEO? What is backlink? I'll give you a very simple example. For example, you are in Delhi, and you are going to, for example, you don't know anywhere to go and you wish to go out for a coffee. So you start asking people around, where is the best coffee shop? Where is the best coffee shop? People start to take this name, Kappa Joe. For example, this Cafe Coffee Day on this street is the best coffee shop. You can go there and have one. So that will create a kind of reputation for that Cafe Coffee Day in your head. Exactly like that, backlinks create a kind of reputation for your website in the mind of search engine. And when this reputation is created, the search engine will rank it higher. Now, how do I see this in terms of search engine optimization? These backlinks are actually treated as votes for the popularity and the amount of importance you have on web. If you have multiple backlinks, that means you're important, and that means you're popular among other websites, among other blog channels, among other social media websites. And that is how your search engine is going to know, okay, this is a very popular website. People are talking about it, not only on their own website, but on different channels all around the internet. Therefore, I should rank it higher. It is as simple as that. The next thing is we talked about internal links and external links. External links are backlinks. We'll talk about inbound links. What internal links, inbound links, one are the same. So first thing is either you can get backlinks. The second thing is you can also get internal links. What are internal links? For example, a lot of for example, I made a website now. The most important page on a website, for example, I made Hofer's website. The most important page on Hofer's website would be its services page, because that will actually define what Hofer's is doing in the industry and how it is providing those services. It gives the most important knowledge that you should know about Hofers. So I will create a lot of internal links related to my services page inside my website. I will link it to my About Us page. I will try to link it to my blogs page. I will link it to my case study page, so that search engine gets to know that this page, the services page, is the most important page. And when it starts to rank those pages, it ranks the services page the highest. Okay, now yesterday I mentioned there is follow and no follow in the SEO glossary. What is a follow and no follow? As I talked about, search engine treats these backlinks as votes. So as normal voting goes on in the election, every vote is counted as a viable vote. Exactly like that, every backlink is counted like a viable vote. But there are two kinds of backlinks. One is follow, the other one is no follow. Now what does this mean? What do you mean by no follow? Is very simple. As it says, when search engine comes to crawl your website and it finds a link, it'll figure out, is it a follow kind of link or a non-follow kind of link. If it's a follow kind of link, it will follow it through. It will go to the link it is been trying to send it to. The crawler will go to the end website, to the end web page that link is trying to send it to. But if it is a no follow link, it will not do so. The crawler that came to your door, that came to your website to crawl it, if it figures out, okay, this link on this page is actually no follow, it will not follow it through. It will not go to the ends of the earth to figure out where this link actually ends. So this means that no follow does not count as a vote. Follow links will be counted as a vote when your search engine is trying to rank your website, whereas no follow links will actually not count as a vote. Now, okay, so as basic as this, something which is something when you vote, if it is counted, it is good. If it is not counted, there's no use of it, right? Then why are we actually creating no follow links? If it has no use, then why are SEO managers trying to create no follow links anyway? Because if the vote is not counted, the search engine will never follow through that link to reach what that link actually meant. So why do we need it? We need it because, see, for example, I create a Twitter account, I create a Facebook profile. All of these are legitimate places where I can talk about my business, but these are not links. These places will never count as you can say, I never count as a vote when it comes to a proper backlink. So no follow links are actually used to create kind of traffic. It can also be used to send the traffic, because there is a link somewhere on the internet, be it a no follow link, but it is a link on some website of your website. People can click on it and reach your website. So the most important thing that we actually, when we build a business, the most important thing is attracting customers, and no follow links do that for you. No follow links get that viable, valuable traffic to your website. And it also, for example, if it's a no follow link today, but in the future you start to get a lot of traffic from that link, you can always change it to a follow link with in collaboration with the website it is on. Okay, the next thing that we can talk about in backlink is actually link profile. You will hear this all around the digital marketing industry, that every website, every business has a link profile. What is link profile? Link profile is basically your internal link. It is a report, you can say. It is you can say at the end of your school year, you used to get a final report of your marks, of your grades and everything. Report card is exactly like that. A report card of your backlinks is actually your link profile. It gives you all of your inbound links, all of your outbound links. It will tell you how many are there, the number of links are there. It will tell you their quality. Are they being spammed, or are they being are the keywords being stuffed there just to create just to create a link or not? It will tell you how diverse it is. diversity also counts. As I think anyone who's a college student would know, when you sit in an interview and the interviewee you usually looks at your CV and goes, okay, so you studied, what else have you done? Everyone is looking for diversity nowadays, exactly like that. Your search engine is looking also for diversity in your backlinks. How diverse, how many different kinds of websites are linking back to yours. Okay, now the last thing in backlinks that I'm going to talk about is editorial links. Usually people will ask you, what are editorial links now? Editorial links, see, there are two kinds of way you can get your links. Either you go out in the world and create them for yourself, or you create content so good on your website that people come back to you to link it. You know, for example, I write a blog on top 10 SEO tools of 2021. I write it so well. I write it so well that people actually link my blog on their website. You know, people willingly, when websites willingly link back to your website, it is called an editorial link. It is the best type of link because you don't have to put in your time, you don't have to do anything. You just have to create content. As I said yesterday, content is king. If you have the greatest content of all on the web, you will win. The next thing is, if you're creating your links on your own, it should come from, as I said yesterday, it should come from websites that actually rank better than you. Because if you will use backlinks that are from a website that rank lower than you, they will act as a liability for your website. You will be picking up someone else's weight and moving on, which is not good, obviously, I think. For example, you're walking and I tell you, okay, take these 4 blocks also and walk. It will be difficult for you to walk yourself. You have to create yourself lighter and lighter as possible. So you have to use backlinks only from websites that rank higher than you. Okay, let's move forward. I hope what I'm saying is clear by now. Yes or no? Can I get a yes or a no in the chat? Okay. So backlink analysis. Basically, backlink analysis is done in 3 portions. I will do it for you today, so you can see how it is done. The very first thing would be talking about your link profile. As I told you, editorial links should be, you can request them. Yes, you can go up to different websites and request those editorial links for you. But basically, editorial links mean that people willingly do it for you and you don't actually have to request them. Okay. For example, you are being listed in some news channel. Okay. That is an editorial link. For example, someone sends back a link to you in a blog they wrote, something like that. Okay. So backlink analysis, how do you do backlink analysis? Backlink analysis is done in 3 portions. I will do it for you today so you can see. The very first one is to figure out what your competitor is doing. As the very first slide said, you have to figure out what your competitor is doing from the very start to the very end. The next thing is to figure out your conduct link intersect analysis. What is link intersect? I will tell you, it is actually fabulous portion of your SEO backlink analysis tool. It actually tells you that when we will do a link intersect analysis, how many links are being backlinked to your competitor but not to you. For example, you have been in the business for 5 years, for 10 years now, but your competitor is still ranking higher than you. And how will you figure out how is he ranking higher and how you're not? Will you manually go through every link that he's been using? And matlab, for information, you have backlinks actually are in thousands. It is not like you have 5 backlinks or 10 backlinks. Number of backlinks of your competitor is going to be in thousands, so you cannot go through them manually to figure that out. So there is an SEO tool in which there is this portion of your SEO tool which says link intersect analysis, which figures out how many of backlinks your competitor has that you don't, and you can just capitalize on them. The last thing is find new link building opportunities. You can manually go through, as Rutu said, that can you request them? Exactly, you can go out and request people to link back to you. You can find places that you can link yourself, so you figure out your new building opportunities. Okay, let's move on. Can you see this page filled with content? This is basically your backlink checklist. Okay, now what do I actually mean by that? All of these places, every single one I've mentioned, you can use it to create a backlink for yourself. There are almost 9 to 10. This is everything that you're going to need to create backlinks. For example, now how will you start? Where will you start? You don't know. You have just made your website, but you don't know where to list. This is your checklist. Take a screenshot right now. If you're creating a new website someday, if you're creating a new Instagram page for you, if you're trying to create a blog, this is all you're going to need ever to create your backlinks. The very first one that I'm going to talk about is influencer marketing, influencer outreach. Now, I think everyone must know what is an influencer. Have you encountered ever an influencer on Instagram? Yes or no? There are way too many number of influencers nowadays. I think every city has at least 15, 20, 35, you know. So okay, anyway, my point being, you can figure out, see, influencers are basically your walking talking marketing funnel. Okay, they have already created an audience for you. You don't need to go out and find people who are going to buy your product. You don't have to go out and figure out people who are going to list for your service. No, not anymore. You just have to find those people who can talk about your product so that people start to convert. They already have a preset audience for you, so why not make use of it? That is what your influencer marketing is. Now when you figure out an influencer, you just don't go out and, okay, this influencer, how do you figure out this influencer is good and this influencer is bad? So according to your requirements, you should always find a good match for your brand. You cannot just pick any influencer out in the market. You should always go through a proper strategy, create a proper strategy for your brand. Okay, this is the kind of influencer I wish to represent my brand, because at the end of the day, it will give you brand recognition, and you always want a positive feedback. That will only happen when your influencer aligns with the vision and mission of your company. So you have to make sure that the influencer that you're trying to use as a market funnel, that actually aligns with the vision and mission of your company. How do you do that? There's basic strategy you can devise. You can put out emails, you can message them, you can follow them up, you make them a proper strategy with them, sit down with them, figure out a proper strategy, what to put up on Instagram, how to, when to, and everything. Okay, now how do you find these influencers? Can you go out? Yes, you can go out on Instagram and text a few, but when it comes to, when we talk about an entire company, we are talking about influencer in hundreds. So you cannot go on Instagram and find those 100 influences by yourself. So there are these SEO tools, for example, BuzzSumo and Hunter.io, where you can find the email addresses of your influencers easily. You can search. There are you can search your, you can provide, you can have filters to your search, you can add filters to your search to find those influencers in your industry. You can figure out the amount of influence they have, the amount of engagement they are ready to provide to you, and use those influencers as your marketing funnel. Okay, next thing is video submission. Now what is video submission? See, nowadays people figured out that the audience is not ready to read stuff anymore. Audience is ready to either see or listen to it. So why not, instead of writing blogs, writing articles, let's make videos and submit them all around the web we can, and create a backlink from it. Okay, so video submissions, basically came into action because 95% of anything, any message of any kind of marketing that has been conveyed through a video, the studies show that it remains in the customer's memory. It is people did a proper case study over it and figured out that 95% of any marketing message that is being conveyed through a video actually stays in the customer's head. So why not make use of it? Therefore, your engagement rate will increase, of course, because if your customer can retain whatever you were talking about in the first place, you have for 70% converted that customer for yourself. So why not? You can your engagement rate will increase. Next thing, you should make custom videos. And when you go up on the internet, anything custom made, anything which is original will always rank higher. This is, you can say, the very first rule of SEO. Anything originally written by you, anything originally created by you will always rank better than anything you've copied from anywhere on the internet. Now, the use of it would be, first of all, to increase your engagement. The second of all, that your click rates will increase. Yes, as someone said on the chat, your visibility will increase. You can always increase the number of backlinks. As many places you can submit your video, and as soon as it goes viral, your visibility will increase. Therefore, your brand recognition will increase. And there will be a proper social proof, first of all, that you exist, and second of all, that you are actually good in what you're doing. Okay, now the next thing that I'm going to talk about is social bookmarking. What is social bookmarking? So there are various social bookmarking basically takes everything, is an umbrella term. It takes everything under it. It takes the web pages under it, it takes the article under it, it takes blogs under it, images and videos, everything. It is basically an umbrella term that we use for putting out content that creates a backlink to yours. So it is basically used to increase your brand awareness, which is our main goal here. And you should put out, and as soon as your blog goes viral, it will start to index better. As soon as your blog starts to index better, at least your one page of your you can say of your website will be ranked higher than your competitors, and that is how you will gain momentum against your competitors. Here comes, as I have listed, there are many many social bookmarking sites that you can go up to. The very famous one is Twitter. You can post anything there. You can post your links, images, content, whatever you wish. The next one is Pinterest. Pinterest has about 70 million users nowadays, out of which 42% are women. So Pinterest can be used to as a marketing funnel for getting women as your end customer. Then comes StumbleUpon. StumbleUpon is also one of the biggest social bookmarking websites where you can go and post your content. Okay, now comes forums submission. Does anyone know what is a forum? Does anyone know what is a forum? Yes or no? I think you people must have used Quora one day or the other. So that is basically a forum. There are a number of forums on the internet. Okay, so people go out there and ask their question in their industry. Okay, and they are expecting an answer from the experts of the industry. That is all a forum is. So you can go up to every forum. As I've mentioned, you can go to Digital Point, you can go to Site Point, you can go to SEO Chat. There are more than 210 plus forum websites which are divided among industries that you can go up to according to the niche you are wishing to work in and answer people queries. And when you answer them, you can also link in your website and create a backlink, create a proper backlink for your website. Exactly like that, I have also mentioned question and answers. Ask Ubuntu, Stack Overflow. I think people who are working in the IT department already must know, may be familiar with Stack Overflow and question answers forum websites like that. Okay, and the most important part about all of this is all of it is free, except the influencer outreach. You may have to put in some kind of investment. Other than that, social bookmarking, article submission, forums, social media engagement, everything is for free of cost. So you don't actually have to invest anything. You just have to invest your time and your content. The next thing is your article submission. Just like you can submit your videos online, just like you can answer people online, you can submit your articles online. There are websites which have you can say, there are websites which give you an option. For example, uh, it gives you an option, write for us. Usually there are websites like that. For example, iSnare. Now iSnare always gives you an option, write for us, submit your article here. There are a number of websites that you can go up to and submit your article. You just have to make sure that your article is unique. You just have to make sure that your article isn't duplicate, because there are a number of article submission websites that actually check your content before posting it to figure out that it isn't duplicate. So you cannot give out just one article everywhere. You have to write unique articles and post them at different locations to create your brand awareness. Now, the last thing is as I talked about yesterday, how to create content. Exactly like that, you have to create your articles. You have to you have to use relevant keywords. You have to use tags. You have to use your heading tags properly. You have to divide your content. You can use quotes from people. You should optimize whatever image you're putting in your article. So everything I talked about yesterday goes in here. The next thing is document submission. For document submission, there is actually a tip and trick from my side. You can just write on Google search bar, you can write your title, for example, online shopping, plus use this word in title, colon, then in double quotes you can write for us. It will give you every website on the internet that is ready to take an article submission from you in that domain, in your whatever the keyword you have put in place of your title. It is as easy as that. You don't have to do anything else when it comes to document submission. You can just go up to your Google search bar and search your whatever you are trying to write about, for example, online shopping, then write in title and write for us. It will give you an entire list of websites you can go back and create your brand awareness. Okay, now let's move forward. Before we get to keyword research, let's do some backlink analysis. Okay, give me a second. I'll stop sharing this and let's go to Google Chrome. Is my screen visible now? Is my screen visible? Yes. Okay. Okay. So let's do some backlink analysis. I'll tell you how I do it. So maybe you can take some tips from how I do it, or you can figure out your own way. See, SEO tools, there are a sea of SEO tools to choose from. You don't have to do as I do. You don't have to copy anyone on the internet. You figure out. It is basically like when you download a new app in your phone. You take a day or two to figure out, okay, what is the app about? How does it work? Exactly like that. Go around the SEO tool yourself and figure out how it is done and what are you comfortable doing, okay, on which platform. So this is what I use. This is a Mozbar. This is one of the most popular SEO tools when it comes for backlink analysis. Now here it is, link research. We will it always also gives you a keyword research option, but I don't use Mozbar for keywords. I only use for backlink analysis. Okay, this is Link Explorer. You just write your company, or for example, I take HashRocket and click analyze. That's it. When you analyze it, it shows you domain authority. It starts giving you linking domains. It starts giving you inbound links and ranking keywords. Ranking keywords are the keywords that they are ranking for. See, there are 6.7K keywords that they are already ranking for. So you, this is a company in the IT industry. So can you look? Manually, you can never go through every single keyword and figure out. Manually, you can never go through 2.3K domains 33K, they have 33K backlinks. So you can manually never go through them. So that is why we require tools. Now, what is this graph? See, as I said, there are links that are two types. There are follow and no follow. Okay, so the no follow ones are actually basically people put no follow tags in their website code so that people can't link to their website. Okay, it is a kind of, you can say it is a security kind of guideline that there's some follow. Not every single one follows, but some of them. So no follow is basically some websites put them up to tell them that okay, this no one can link back to us. Okay, so some of them usually get dropped when people go through their websites. For example, when Nykaa would go through its website and figure out, okay, some people have been linking to us, but we are a no follow website, they will drop them. They will block those websites from linking to them. So the red one, the red bar that you can see, are actually the lost ones, the ones that this website has lost as its backlink. The green ones are the new ones that has been created. Can you see the links are being created every matlab, it is a constant process that you have to go through, and they are losing it constantly. So creating a backlink, it's a constant process. It will never stop. It will start the day you start creating backlinks and end until you put your foot down and close the company. So backlink is something that you'll have to work every day or till your company shuts down. Okay, now this is how. Okay, yesterday I talked about anchor text. Does anyone remember what anchor text was? Yes or no? Just yes or no? Okay, see, exactly. Here it even shows anchor text. So there is an entire section that is given in your backlink analysis tool on anchor text, because whatever word, your anchor text is actually a keyword. Think about it. If your competitor is using a word to rank on someone else's website as a backlink, and if that backlink is actually working, it is a keyword. Anything which starts to rank becomes a keyword at the end of the day. So your anchor text also at the end of the day becomes a keyword. So you can use, for example, this website is using today I learned, and there are 682 links to this same word. So why not use it for yourself? It has anyway become a keyword, so you can use it too. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is how do you actually figure out their links. Okay, let's talk about some metrics. Give me a second. Okay, so this is domain authority. As I talked about yesterday, your the ability of your entire website to rank higher is domain authority. Your page authority is what is the exact page that the link is on. The ability of that page to rank higher. Spam score is, for example, you can say this is a gray hat exercise that people usually perform. Okay, this is not allowed, but people do so because anyway you can see 2.3K linking domains. So obviously some of those domains do not actually exist. Some of those domains would be in Japanese, and you will encounter this one day or the other when you walk into a company as an SEO manager and you'll do some backlink analysis. You will see some links of that company would be on some absurd German website, absurd Japanese website. All of those come under your spam. Okay, the websites that do not actually have any viable content, but they are just being used to create a backlink so that your backlink score goes up. Okay, so this gives you a spam score that this website is actually viable or not. Now, what you have to do as an SEO manager, first of all, either you can go manually through it. For example, I click on this, I manually see what this website is about. Okay, this is GitHub. So I can take up whatever kind of projects they are using. I can also use them. Whatever content they are putting up that is ranking for them, I can use, I can take up ideas, I can get inspired from. Okay, the next thing, for example, Stack Overflow, I know, see, this is what I was talking about. This is a Japanese website. Can you see? So this is like a spamming website. People link their websites on absurd website to increase their backlink, but it is not actually viable. Okay, for example, you can see this. This is a news website. This is your editorial link that someone asked a second before. This is your editorial link. When the news actually willingly mentions you. So as an SEO manager, what you have to do, you have to, for your company, you'll have to figure out where you can list your company, from where you can, for example, Stack Overflow. So what questions are they answering to? You have to figure out where you can answer those questions. You have to figure out where their articles are being published, their blogs are being published. So manually, you can go through every single one of those, and I do so. So you manually go through every single one of those and figure out what it is about, create notes, export an Excel. See, here gives an export CSV option. You can export them. You can choose them, for example, this one, this one, this one, and this one. This is what I want. This is what I figured out are going to be of use to me. I export them in an Excel sheet and I give it back to my, I create a proper report. Okay, you can see a report. Actually, I'll open a report for you so that you can see how it actually looks. Okay, is the folder, can you see the folder, or can you still see only the Google Chrome? Which one can you see? The Chrome or my folder? Only Google Chrome? Okay, okay. Can you see the folder now? Okay, see, this is a backlink analysis I did for a company. Can you see it says clutch.co, list it, code wall, blog content ideas, GitHub, Gitter, you can join the community. So I went through almost all the backlinks that have a viable domain authority and page authority. Okay, for example, a domain authority which is about a 70. Anything below 70 usually doesn't rank. Okay, so you don't have to go through all of the links. You can go through only the links that actually rank better, that have a DA of 70. So you just have to go through them manually, figure out what actually works. So I went through Clutch, for example. I figured out it is a website where they can link themselves, just like their competitor. For example, slides.com. Slides.com is a place where companies put out PPTs. Okay, so they can do it as well. Hackaroon and NPJMIS is actually blog content websites like your Reddit, like your Medium. So they can also go back to these websites, figure out what kind of blog content they are ranking for, and they can also write blogs on the same content. Okay, the next thing that you can do, okay, give me a second. Okay, can you see the Word document? Okay, see, you can make notes and send. This is how I do it, and you can do it like this, because if you're like a one-man army, you always need notes to go back to. So for example, this is a company called Dockyard. Okay, these are Ruby Doc, and it is an IT company. So these are the languages it works with. So Ruby Doc and Ruby Gems are the organizations that it has created. So their website has a lot of links, has a lot of backlinks to Dockyard. The next thing is what they sponsor. For example, they have sponsored this organization. So your competitor can also sponsor something. They are a part of these foundation and these communities. Yours can also be. They attended these conferences. Now in the IT industry, people usually have Zoom conferences. Okay, and every conference has its own website. And when you attend that conference, as a host, as just an attendee, they link back to your website for sure. So these were the conferences they attended, and this is where they were linked. These are the websites that they were linked to. And how did I get to know about this? I went through all the backlinks one by one, and I figured out after looking at the websites, okay, this is the conference website, this is where they can list themselves. See, ask to add. What is ask to add? Editorial links. See, you can go up to people and request them. You can you add us to your website as well, because we are also a company in the IT industry. We also do this. We also provide this. So people may just start to link back to you. Now these are blog websites. See, as an SEO manager, you have to be part of a number of industries, and you can't know anything and everything about every industry that you walk into. So while doing backlink analysis, you'll get to know about the industry. This is how you learn about different industry that you start to work in, where these articles are being published, where they are being listed, what kind of blog material they are putting out. This is how you also learn about the industry. This is another company, Hashrocket. For example, see, it says blogs, Medium, conferences. I got all of this information only by doing my backlink analysis. I went through every single, you can say, link, every link that had a domain authority of higher than 70, and created my own notes. See, this is domain authority, it says 96, therefore it will rank higher when you search engines. It says 59, it has a lower probability of actually showing up on the search engine. 96, yes it will. 92, yes it will. 25, see, can you see 25? This will never rank on your first page of your Google, but you can create a viable backlink for your website if it is a new one, because your new website will not have any domain authority. So it doesn't matter where your links are coming in from until unless they are. Okay, the next thing I talked about link intersect a second ago. See, for example, mine is Hashrocket, and I want to see which links are being linked to my competitor but not to me. Okay, so this is my competitor Dockyard, and I am Hashrocket. These are the links. See, all of these links, now mine is not a pro one, so please don't mind. These are the links that are being linked to Dockyard but not to Hashrocket. This is how you can find your competitors' weak points and strength. This is the area where you can figure out his strengths, basically, that this is where they are being linked and we are not. And you can copy them, or you can request them, or you can, for example, in Wikipedia, here gives Wikipedia, see, there is FRITJA. These are Wikipedia of 3 different countries. Okay, so you can go up to them. In Wikipedia, you can just, edit in your blog, edit in your backlink very easily. You can do that. Live internet.ru is actually a news channel. Okay, so you can ask them that you are also this company in the IT industry or whatever industry you are part of. You can always learn about the industry doing a backlink analysis. This is how you do analysis. You do your backlink analysis. Okay, for one more thing I think is left. Linking domain, yes. Okay, now what is linking domain? We see, either you can go through every single one yourself one by one, or you can do this. You can go to linking domain. Every backlink from a specific domain will be given here. For example, Wikipedia, all of your backlinks, your competitors' backlinks from your Wikipedia will be given here. For example, here, see, there must be GitHub. They may have more than one. See, all the GitHub backlinks are given here one by one. So it's easy. It will be easier for you to figure out. This is how I do it usually. I go to rather than going through every link one by one, I go to linking domains page, and I go through the first first 3-4 pages. Okay, when the domain authority is below, you can say when the domain authority goes below 40, when the domain authority goes below, you can say 50, I stop my analysis right there, because those pages will not help me to rank higher. They will become a liability for me. So this is how I go through. For example, I open this, then you will click it. See, you can say anchor text hash rocket. You will have to find this word hash rocket on the website that you've just opened. Control F to find it. Hash rocket. Click enter. You will find everywhere hash rocket is written. See, this is the link. You will click hash rocket here. This was the backlink. Can you see? Yes or no, please? This is how you figure out that is this a viable backlink that you can use or not. So if, since it's Wikipedia, I think yes, you can. This is how you do your competitors backlink analysis. Either you can go to inbound links, go to the links one by one, you can go through domains all at once, or you can simply link intersect to figure out who is backlinked to your competitor and not to you. I think you will not have any issue doing backlink analysis anymore. Let's move on. Let's move on to keyword research. Okay, who remembers what are keywords? Okay, Manoj remembers what are actually keywords. Sanal as well. Okay. Okay. Metagame, yes. Okay, so yesterday's session did not go in vain, basically. Okay, so I'll go through it again. Keywords is anything that you write in the search bar, be it one word, be it two, be it three, be it an entire question. Anything you write in the search bar is your keyword. And why do we need keywords? We want keywords to figure out what our audience is searching for, so that we can use those keywords, exactly those words, in our website content, as it will help us to rank higher. It is as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, the only important thing about your keywords is that it should be relevant. Okay, you if it is not relevant to your website, it is called keyword stuffing. It is a gray hats exercise that people do to rank higher, but it is not advisable. It is against the guidelines of any search engine to stuff keywords in your website just to rank higher. Once your search engine figures out that you are stuffing a keywords, the ranking will drop down immediately. Okay, so next thing is, how do you figure out, for example, okay, let's talk about the relevant and irrelevance. How will you figure out they are relevant to you or not relevant to you? For example, I have a football jacket company. I create jacket for football players. Now, the relevant keyword related to this would be buy football jackets, or buy football jackets online, or it can be online football jacket store India. What irrelevant would sound like is football jacket photos, or how to make your own football jacket. You know, if someone is searching for how to make their own football jacket and you start to rank in that page, then they will never click on you, because you're actually selling them and the person actually wants to make one for himself. Or if you start to rank for a keyword that says football jacket manufacturer, now that person is searching for a manufacturer who is going to sell him football jackets in wholesale. But if you start to rank in that page, even if you do get clicked, he will never buy from you, he will never become an end customer for you, and your bounce rate will increase. Oh sorry, I've been using bounce rate since yesterday. Does anyone know what is bounce rate? Yes or no, please? Okay. Okay, I'll explain what is bounce rate. Okay, for example, someone comes to your website, and on the very first page, that customer feels like, oh, this is not what I want, and he goes away. Okay, this is your bounce rate. The number of people who actually show up to your home page and don't go anywhere else on the website and actually exits before doing anything, before even going to the next page or clicking something or scrolling down or something, that person just leaves. That is going to be a bounce rate. Bounce rate is the rate which describes how many people showed up to your website, did not do anything, and just left. So if your bounce rate increases, that means irrelevant people are showing up to your website. People who don't actually want your product, want your service, are showing up to your website. That will eventually mean that whatever keywords you're using are actually not working for you. That is how you figure out. If your bounce rate increases in your analytics platform, you can figure out that whatever keywords you're using, whatever backlinks you have right now, are actually not working in your favor, because people are leaving your website as soon as they show up, and you don't want that to happen. So that is why you need to figure out which keywords will be relevant to you, which keywords will be irrelevant to you, and do not use the irrelevant one, because your bounce rate will increase and therefore your ranking will drop. Okay, now how do you find these keywords? First of all, either you can simply steal keywords from your competitors, as I showed you. You can steal their anchor text. I'll show you how to do keyword research. In that, you can figure out whatever keywords your competitor are using. You can use them as it is. The next thing would be, you can brainstorm your own keyword list any day. Anything which is unique, which is your own, will rank higher. So you can brainstorm your own list. The next thing is, you can go undercover. What do you mean by undercover? Is basically, you can go up to websites other than, see, keyword research isn't only restricted to an SEO tool. Always remember that keyword research is never restricted to your SEO tool. Keyword research has its branches out on all the sectors of the web. For example, you can go up on Reddit to figure out what are people talking about nowadays. You can go up on Quora. You can go up to Facebook groups and communities. You can also see Twitter hashtags. What is trending on Twitter? Every day something new is trending. So you can go up to that as well. You can figure out whatever is being popular, choose that thread that you want to use, that popular thread, and make use of it in your own website or whatever content you're putting up on the web to rank. The last thing is, obviously, you can use any professional tool. That I will give you a basic, I'll go through a tool with you right now. Then there are types of keywords. See, there are a number of keywords. Basically, keywords are being differentiated on the basis of what they are trying to convey. Can we refer to Google auto suggestions in the search? Yes, those suggestions are actually keywords. I was actually going to, when I will do keyword analysis, I was actually going to get to that as well. Your Google itself is your keyword analysis SEO tool. Don't have to go any further. For example, you write online shopping. You don't click enter, just see. The searches that are shown in the below section, the suggestions that Google gives you, all of them are keywords. Even when you click enter and you go and you scroll down to the end of your Google search, you will find some related questions. It gives you related section. Everything in the related section is your keyword portion. Everything people also ask is a keyword research portion for you. So you can go through any of those three. You can use any of them in your website, and it will help you to rank better. Okay, so I was talking about types of keywords. So keywords are basically divided among different sectors on the basis of what are they trying to convey. What is head term? Head term is whatever word you are using in your heading. As I said yesterday, in your heading, the H1 tag should first of all be unique. It cannot be duplicated. It will give you an error. So whatever word you are using, whatever primary keyword you're using in your heading tag should be very unique. It is usually very competitive. If I'm writing something about SEO tools, now SEO tools, of course, these two words will be the most competitive in my SEO industry. These are the two most important words. So why won't they be competitive? So usually your heading terms are very competitive, and we usually just comprise of one or two words. The next thing is navigational. Navigational is anything as the name suggests, to locate your brand anywhere on the internet. For example, there are different Google Maps. You can list your company on Google Map. You can list your company with Apple. Wherever you can list the location of your company. And there are a number of websites where you can list the location of your company. So the keywords you use there would be navigational keywords. Now, long tail keywords. What are long tail keywords? Long tail keywords are actually, you can say, the starter of keyword research that you're going to do. So long tail keywords are actually phrases that you can use. See, when you write a blog, when you write content for your website, you will be writing sentences. Will it be easier for you to use one word, or if I give you 4 or 5 words already, it'll be easier to create a sentence with 4 or 5 words already. So long tail keywords are actually 3 or more words that are pinned together. It actually is a phrase that you can use directly and create a sentence around it. The last thing is informational. Information are usually known as secondary keywords. For example, if I'm talking about online shopping, now online shopping would be my primary keyword. Online shopping in India, online shopping, women clothing and jewelry, men's shoes and shirts, something like that. So all of that is informational, something that gives information about your main keyword. That is your informational keyword. Okay. Now let's get to some keyword research. I'll tell you how I actually do keyword research. Okay. I'll share my screen. Okay, is it visible? Can I get a yes or no? Okay, so this is one of the tools that you can use for your keyword research. This is Ubersuggest by Neil Patel. You can go down here. You can enter anything, your domain. For example, if I wish to analyze what keywords my competitor is using. Okay, so I'll write www.dockyard.com. I want to figure out what this competitor is using. So I will click enter, and it will start to show up. Okay, now see, can you read organic keywords? These are the keywords that this website has that it does not pay for. Okay, these are the keywords that the website has that it isn't paying for. Okay, there are keywords that people usually pay for. You can, do you know about CPC? Does anyone know about what is CPC? So when a keyword, there are two types of keywords, organic and inorganic. Organic are the keywords that you're not paying for. You are being ranked for those keywords, but you're not paying for them. The other one is inorganic keywords. Inorganic keywords are the ones you're paying for. Yes, the amount of money you are going to have to pay. For example, Google AdWords. So the amount of money you're going to pay Google AdWords to have to get to rank for that keyword, those will be inorganic keywords. See, I said backlinks are in thousands, and out of which, see, there are 3335 268 backlinks, out of which 4900 are no follows. No follows are the ones that have restricted to any backlink from their websites, but anyway they have linked it because it will also help them to drive their traffic. Okay, domain authority, I've already talked about it. Let's move. Okay, see, these are the SEO keywords that I was talking about. These are the keywords that it is ranking for. What is volume? Volume is basically the number of times that keyword has been used in search. This is the number of times a person has searched for it on any search engine. Okay, that is the meaning of keyword. That is the meaning of volume. The next thing is position. Position is basically, see, this keyword is written in some URL or the other. Okay, so what is the position of that URL is the meaning of this position. Wherever your dockyard keyword is written on a web page, what is the position of that web page on a Google search engine? It is given 1, so therefore it ranks number 1. See, if I search dockyard, is Ubersuggest visible to you, or dockyard? Yes or no? Which one is visible? Dockyard or Ubersuggest? Dockyard. See, so as it said here, dockyard will give you position 1. Okay, when I searched dockyard on Google, I wrote dockyard. I'll do it again. Oh, sorry, I wrote it in the search bar. It will lead me to dockyard's website directly. The next thing, okay, now this is competitive analysis. You can go through their keywords. You can go through the top pages that they have according to the website. According to in their website, the top pages, you can go to those top pages. You can figure out what is the content that they are putting on their pages that is ranked, that is making them rank higher. You can do that for yourself. Now, for example, I figured out that this works for me. I figured out this keyword. I want to rank for this keyword. For example, online shopping. Okay. Search volume, the amount of time some customer is using this word to search, that is your search volume. SEO difficulty is basically how hard it is to rank for this keyword. So it is 75. Just think about it. It is really difficult to rank for this keyword. 75 is really high. Paid difficulty 96. See, it has a CPC of 15 rupees 0.35. You will have to pay this much to actually rank for this keyword. Paid difficulty is how difficult for it is to rank. Both of these tells you how difficult it is for you to rank for this keyword. Okay, now see, how will you figure out which one to use, which keyword to use? For example, I'll tell you. Now see, this is SEO difficulty that I talked about. Okay, SEO difficulty when it is lesser than 40. SEO difficulty when it is lesser than 40. It is easier to rank for that keyword. Always remember. Okay. For example, I am a new website. I am a new, this is my new. Which keywords you want to choose? The most important thing is your keywords that you're going to choose. Okay. So this is what I do. For example, I am going to create a very new website, and it hasn't been published yet. It will be published in 2 to 3 days. So what metrics do you need to look out for while you're using while you're choosing your keywords? The very first one is your SEO difficulty. The SD written here should be less than 40. For those keywords, it will be easier for a new website to rank. The next thing is for the ones which have a higher CPC. Okay, if it has a higher CPC, that basically means that this keyword has the highest probability of being searched by your audience. So therefore, it will be much more difficult to rank for it. So it will be advisable. For example, online shopping. For online shopping, this says 15, this says 3, this says 1. So as compared to 15 keyword, the one which is rated at rupees 15, it will be much more difficult to rank for online shopping as compared to rank for online shopping Myntra. So when you start to write content for your website, you should choose keywords that are related to your main keyword, but does not have a higher CPC or has a SD which is lower than 40. Also, there is one more thing. I'll take you to another dashboard. See, this is SEMrush. Always remember, you cannot use just one tool for your keyword research. You should use at least 2 tools, and also use your Google suggestion platform as well. Okay, so for example, okay, keyword variation. This is where, okay, I'm going to see. I'll give you an overview of this as well. Volume is basically how many times people are searching for it. Keyword difficulty is how difficult it is going to rank for this keyword. Here, can you say SF? We talked about snippets yesterday. Does anyone remember feature snippets? Position #0. We talked about it yesterday. Yes. So this is that region. Okay. For example, you want to add a feature snippet to your new website. Now, how are you going to figure out for which keyword can you actually write? Can you actually write a feature snippet in your website? So you will click here. Okay. You for example, let me go to keyword variations. Okay, here you can see SERP feature. So see, you can see how many feature snippets are there or not. For example, in this one there are 3 plus 3. In this one there's not. There's just 1 at most and no more. So for eBay online shopping, you can create a feature snippet in your own website, and you have a higher probability of getting that position #0 for eBay online as compared to this shop Goodwill online, because they're already +3 for it. Okay, so this is how you're going to choose for which you can create a feature snippet and for which you can't. The next thing is, see, volume should be high. I'll go over it again. The volume should be high. Okay, but the keyword difficulty should be lower than at least 40 if you are a very, very new website. How do you do this? Now, how do you create one keyword list? For example, I wish to choose these 3. Okay, and then I'm going to export. Here, I'll just click export. It will get exported to my, I will I can even open a list for you so that it's easy for you to understand how it actually looks. Okay. Can you see the Excel sheet? This is how it will look. Are these 3 websites to, yes. See, for example, Mozbar has a free trial of 30 days. For your SEMrush, you're going to get 15. And for your Ubersuggest, you're going to get 7. So after that, yes, you have to pay, but usually you can use multiple accounts. They don't actually keep a track of your email IDs that you're using. So you can create multiple accounts and use it for free. Okay, other than that, if you're a part of industry and you want to do this in the long run, you can actually buy something that you use that you want to use if you're a freelancer. Otherwise, if you are going to work for a company, that company will provide you with the tools. You don't have to buy them or anything. Until unless you're on your own, I am going to suggest you to use multiple accounts and use it for free. Okay, now this is how your key is. For example, I export certain keywords. For example, I exported these keywords. This is how your is going to look like, the exported file. It will say volume, CPC, SD. There were many more metrics here. I removed them because I did not want them. I only cared about volume, CPC, and SD. Okay, now I ranked them. Now you have to rank your website. For example, if you're working for a company which has been in business for 10 years, 20 years, for most probably it will not care about CPC. It will only care about its ranking. They are ready, if they are ready to invest money. Okay, so you can just create your keyword research according to basis of volume, according to what some, for example, see, this is 1300, but it is here, and this is only 320, but it is at the top. Why? Because its CPC says 0, and the other one had a CPC of some 1 rupee, 5 rupee, 6 rupee. Okay, something like that. So it will depend on the company, the type of keyword you wish to use. For example, you yourself are creating a new website. So I will create an Excel sheet according to in ascending order of my CPC. So for this one, I created it for a client who had just published their, you can say, website. So they wanted CPC to be an ascending order. So see, CPC will go from 0 to 0.6 to 1 to 2 to 3, 5, 10, 18, 22. And this is how it will go on. So this is what you will have to decide on your own, whether you wish to go with volume, you wish to invest, you are ready to invest some kind of money, you don't care about the amount of money you're going to put in, or you wish to go with zeros or ones or twos as your CPC, but volume, you will compromise with volume as you're new to the industry. So this is up to you. Create your own. I am going to suggest you to create your own keyword research today and see for yourself how actually the tools work, and how you can create your own keyword research. Even if you're writing for a blog, you can do keyword research for it. For example, I wrote a blog on SEO tools, so I did a research for SEO tools, what is ranking the highest. I will use that keyword in my heading, then I will use the words that are related to it in my blog. So I think that's all for today from my side. I have done backlink analysis for you and keyword research, and I'm hoping that you can do it yourself now. Any questions now? Now I'm open to questions. So anyone wants to ask something? Free websites as in what? Acha, okay. See, I told you, did you see that organic keywords part? Yeah. Did you see that organic keywords? It said 3,000 something organic keywords. Yes. So those are the words that they weren't paying for. Okay. So you can also have those, you can only have organic keywords in your platform. Okay. It won't matter unless you start to rank. It doesn't matter you're paying for it or not. Your content is only, if your content is viable enough to rank, it will rank. It doesn't matter if you're paying or not. There are many websites that actually don't pay anything are actually ranking. That only depends on how many backlinks you have, how much brand awareness you have created around your brand, how much you're interacting, how much you're engaging with your customers. It only depends on how much you are ready to put in with your brand. Okay, it doesn't matter how usually it doesn't matter how much investment you make on the basis of keywords when it comes to keywords. Anything else?
So I guess we will be winding up soon. Thank you, Sanskriti. Thank you so much for your wonderful
Thank you.
insights on SEO. Thank you, participants, and we are extremely sorry for all the technical glitches you faced today during our sessions. I'll be sharing the link to our website and social media platforms in the group itself. Please do follow us on social media platforms, because from there only you will get to know about each and everything we are planning upon. So we will be winding up for today very quickly. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, and have a good night.